That's right.
Joining me now is former Republican Congressman and former presidential candidate Joe Walsh. Joe, great to see you. Let's start with CPAC. It's a MAGA-palooza over there at the National Harbor Convention area outside of Washington, D.C. What does this year's CPAC tell you about the state of the GOP?
Yeah. You know, Jim, I know the temptation is to always laugh, right? Mike Lindell and Carrie Lake and Steve Bannon, and laugh at how crazy these people are at CPAC. But we shouldn't laugh. I mean, this is scary. And it's odd having to say this 6 to 7 years after Donald Trump came on the scene, but America needs to wake up. What we're seeing at CPAC right now is the base of one of America's two major political parties, and it's fully radicalized. I mean, Jim, virtually every speaker lied and lied and lied. It's been 2 to 3 days of lies and disinformation, misinformation, cruelty. My God, you had Brazil's Bolsonaro spoke today about how his election was stolen. This is scary stuff, but the important point, Jim, is this is where this Republican Party...
5 minutes later.
Good evening. Extreme weather sweeps across the country. At least 12 people have died following severe storms in several states. Out west, Californians are reeling. Record snowfall, some powered by high winds, dropped more than 12 feet of snow over parts of the state in the last few days. The heavy snow has buried neighborhoods, collapsed roofs, trapping some people in their homes for days. Further east, more than 800,000 people are without power across 5 states. Following severe storms, flooding, high winds.
10 seconds later.
Now to that rare and deadly case of severe turbulence. An investigation now underway after a passenger aboard a private business jet was killed. That small plane heading to Virginia from New Hampshire when it had to be diverted to Connecticut. It's just the latest in a string of mid-air scares. Earlier this week, 7 people were hurt and rushed to the hospital after a Lufthansa Airbus experienced turbulence. Here's ABC's Rena Roy.
Tonight, the NTSB investigating a rare incident of fatal turbulence. A passenger on a private business jet killed.
This is a tower with a medical emergency. Landing runway 6. Possible laceration, requesting medical assistance on the runway.
The Bombardier Challenger 300 jet departing from Keene, New Hampshire Friday afternoon with 3 passengers and 2 crew members on board en route to Leesburg, Virginia. Around 4 p.m. local time, diverting to Bradley Airport.
Just then.
Now to the latest in the Idaho murder investigations. Defense lawyers for the accused killer are fighting to keep that gag order in place. Brian Kohberger's defense team filed the opposition with the Idaho Supreme Court yesterday. The gag order claims restrictions are needed to protect Kohberger's right to a fair trial due to, quote, twisted media coverage. The move came days after 30 news organizations asked the court to overturn that order. The lawyer for the News Coalition argues the order violates the right to free speech. It also prevents the victims' families from having attorneys speak to the media on their behalf. The attorney for one of the victims' family filed a separate motion to clarify the gag order because they say it's too vague. Meanwhile, we are getting more clarity on what exactly police found when they arrested Kohberger at his parents' Pennsylvania home after authorities unsealed several warrants this week. A Glock 22 handgun with 3 empty magazines, a knife, and black gloves were among the dozens of items taken in connection with the stabbing deaths of those 4 Idaho college students. For a deeper look into what these latest developments mean for the case, we're bringing in former FBI Special Agent Jennifer Coffendorfer. Jennifer, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Natasha.
Let's start with that gag order, basically barring attorneys, law enforcement agencies, other associated with the case from talking or writing about it. What are the benefits of limiting information surrounding the case to the public? And if the gag order remains, could this actually leave room for misinformation to proliferate?
This is how legends are born.